Hey there, Namaste. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Prabhat Ale. So in my previous video on this playlist, I have explained you about my final year project Smart Attendance Management System, right? So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you to install this system on your own local environment, right? So for that, first we are going to clone the project repository from my GitHub account, and then we are going to install all the dependencies that we will require for running this system, right? So after that we will do some database setups, so you don't worry about that. So I'll help you in creating the database that we have used in this project, right? So finally then we will run the project at our own local environment and test the inference, right? So without getting any further delay, so let me quickly show you the output that we are going to get through in this video, right? So in our first step, we are going to create a new directory for our project, right? So let's create a new folder and name it as SAMS and press enter. So let's open this directory. So inside this directory, we are going to clone our project from GitHub, right? So let me copy this path and then I'll open up Anaconda prompt, right? So after opening up Anaconda prompt, so I will navigate to my project directory. So for doing this, I will type in command cd and paste the path we just copied, right? And then press enter. So now we have navigated into our project directory, right? So our next step is to create a virtual environment, right? So for creating a virtual environment in Anaconda prompt, you just need to type in command conda create -n and then the name of virtual environment you want, right? So here we are using SAMS, yes, and then we just need to provide the version of Python, right? So here we will install Python 3.6 and press enter. So after a moment you will be asked whether to proceed or not. Just type in Y and press enter, then it will create a virtual environment with Python 3.6 environment, right? So here it has already created the virtual environment. So now we need to activate our virtual environment in our next step. So for activating our virtual environment, we just need to copy this command and then paste it over here and then press enter. So here we have activated our virtual environment. As you can see, now we are in SAMS environment. So previously we used to be in test environment, right? So our next step is to clone the repository from GitHub, right? So for doing this, I'm just going to minimize this and then open up Google Chrome. So this is the project repository that we are going to clone. So don't worry about the link. I will provide this link in my YouTube description, right? So just copy this URL, right? And then again come back to Anaconda prompt and then just type in git clone and then paste the URL just copied, okay? So and press enter. So it will clone the repository into your project directory, right? So it will take some time, so just be patient. So if you do not have a git installed in your system, then it will throw you errors. So just be sure that you install git before running this command. So now we are successful in cloning our repository. So as you can see, So now we need to check whether the repository has been cloned successfully or not. So for doing this, I'm just checking my directory. So here you can see, so the project file has been cloned successfully, right? So previously this repository, this directory was empty. So now we have this directory inside our project repository, right? So project directory. So let me quickly navigate to this directory. Okay, so and then check what are the program files. So these are the program files that is inside our project directory, right? So here we can find all the requirements and dependencies for running this project inside requirements.txt file. So let me quickly show you what are the requirements and dependencies that we need to install for running this project. So here you can see these are all the requirements that we need to install for running this project. So first one is OpenCV Python 4.2.0.34 version, right? So next one is TensorFlow 2.4. So another one is scikit-learn 0.0. So we also need to install Pillow 8.1.0. Then PyMySQL 1.0.2, Pandas 1.1.5, GTTS 2.2.1, AppScheduler 3.7.0, right? So these are all the dependencies we need to install for running this project, right? So let me quickly install all those dependencies at once with a single command. So let me exit this console. So now for installing all those dependencies with a single command, so we just type in pip install and -r and then requirements.txt and press enter, and it will install all the dependencies and requirements, yes, that is listed inside requirements.txt, right? So it will eventually take some time. So here we have successfully installed all those dependencies for running this system. So now we are all set for running this project, right? So let me quickly see what are the files here. So here attendance with antispoofing.py is the main file that we need to run for running this system, right? So let me quickly run this file. Okay, Python attendance with antispoofing.py and press enter. So it will take some time. So it will take some time to initialize. So this is the admin login page for our system. So here the admin provides their login credentials and logs into the system. But for now we haven't set up the database for our project, so we would not be able to log in. So let's try to log in with random username and password, and then we may probably get an SQL error for this, right? So here we have get an error mentioning SQL connection error, open XAMPP control panel, and then start MySQL server, right? So what we have to do is we have to first open our XAMPP server, and then we have to go into PHP myadmin, and then we have to create a database for our project. So let me show you what are the database that we are going to use in this project, right? So for this I'm going to close this. So these are the details of the database that we are going to create now. So we will be using MySQL database. So the name of our database will be recognition, and there will be 3 tables we are going to create in our database. So first table name is attendance table. So this table is for storing the staff details during the registration purpose. So we will store the employee ID, department, their names, their gender, their contact details, their email address, and their date of joining, right? So second table is the login table. So this table is used to store the login credentials of the admin, right? So here we will be using default admin, and admin is the username and password, right? So final table is the report table. So this table is used to store the attendance report, right? So here we have 5 columns. So first one is ID, which is the foreign key. So this is the this ID is accessed here, and next one is name of the employee, and next one is date. So date generally refers to the date at which the attendance has recorded their attendance, and next one is time. So it refers to the time at which the attendance is being done. So finally next one is a status. So in the status we will have two possibilities. First one is either present or absent. So these are the database details that we need to consider while creating a database. So let's create our database. So for creating a database, we first need to open up XAMPP control panel and then start Apache server and MySQL server, right? So this will take some time, and then after it has been started successfully, you just minimize it and then open a Google Chrome browser, and then you just have to open phpMyAdmin, right? So this is the place or area where you have the option of creating your database, right? So here you can see we can create a database here. So we can create a database by providing a name. So as I've already told, so our database name will be recognition, right? RECOGNITION, recognition, and then click on create. So it will create our database name recognition, right? So here now we have the options of creating our tables then, right? So as I've shown earlier, so we have 3 tables in our database. So first table we are going to create is login, that is for admins, right? So we will usually have only 2 columns, right? So we're gonna go, it is taking some time. So here, so now we have the options of creating our column names, right? So in our login we have 2 columns. So first one is username and next one is password, right? Password, okay. And these the variable types will be varchar for both of these, right? And then we'll choose a length of 255 and 255, and then save, and right. So we have successfully created one of our column, so that is login. So one of our table, sorry, that is login table. So now let's construct another table for storing the staff details, right? So this table, the name of the table will be attendance table. So for creating a new table, you just go over here and then click on new, and then you just write the name of the table, that is ATTENBANC, attendance. And how many columns you want? 1 2 3 4 already, but here we'll probably need 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 columns, okay? So we need extra 3 columns, okay? And then we can go for go. Okay, here we have 7 columns. Now we need to write, right? So first column name is employee ID, so it is integer, and we will we are not gonna do anything here. So we are going to do auto increment, right? So here AI, it means auto increment. We just have to click here, okay, and then this is primary key, yes, okay, we just have to go with okay. So we have created one column name. So next one is department, right? Department, it is of type variable varchar, okay. So we are going to provide 255 characters length. Next one is app name, for storing the name of the staff. So it is again varchar data type, and it has length 255. So similarly we are going with gender, okay, GER, gender. So it is also a var character data type, and it also has a length of 255. And then next one is contact underscore number. So it is also a varchar data type, and then it also has, yeah, 255, but we can write 255 as well. So now next one is email address. Okay, email underscore address address. So this is also a varchar data type, and then we are again providing 255 character length for this, storing this variable. So next, last one is date of join. We have date underscore of underscore join. So it is also a varchar data type. It also has a length of 255. Okay, so all set. So now we can, well, now we are ready to save. So we just click on save button. Now it will create our next table, that is attendance table. So it has also been created. So now our final third table is the report table, right? So we also need to create this report table. So for creating this, we just go on here, new, and then how many columns? Maybe there are actually 5 columns, so we are going for add one new column. So here are already 4, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so let's give the name of the table report report. So okay, so first one is id. Okay, id, it is, I think, yeah, it is var character, and we are providing 255. Okay, so similarly next one is name. Okay, and it is also varchar, and I'm going to provide 255 character length. So similarly next one is date. So it is also varchar data type, so it has a length of 255. So next one, time, so data type varchar and 255. And next one is status. Okay, data type varchar and then 255. So here you have to note that here date and time, we have separate data type for storing those variables, but here we are using varchar for our convenience because it is very easy to do varchar data type, right? So let's create this table as well. Okay, this table has also been created. So now we are all set. We have created our database. So first one is attendance table. So this table is used to store the details that has been provided, that will be provided by the staff during the registration process. So second one table is login table. So this table stores the login credentials of the admin. So you generally we will provide admin as default username and password. And final one is the report. So here so this table is used to store the attendance report of the staffs. Okay, so we all said, so we have successfully created our database. So now it's time to create the default username and password for our login table. For providing the default username and password for the admins, right? So we just have to go navigate to login table, and then we just have to go over SQL, right? So we are going to use insert query for doing that, right? So just remove all of these and then use this query. So here the query is insert into login. This is the table name, and these are the column names, username and password, and we are providing the values admin inside inverted comma or admin, right? And then press go, and it will create a default username and password as admin in the login table, right? So you can see admin, right? So this completes our steps. So now we are all set for running our files again. So without getting any further delay, so let's run our system. So for running this system, we have to first go into our project directory and then navigate to dataset directory and then delete these datasets, right? Okay, I have deleted this. So now we are going to open Anaconda prompt again and then type in Python attendance with antispoofing.py and press enter. So this will take some time to load pre-trained models and initialize all the variables. so just wait for some time. So here the admin login page has opened up. So this is the place where the admin provides their username and password to log into the system. So here we'll be using the default username and password, that is admin, and then click on login button and it will log into the system. So this is the smart attendance management system dashboard, right? So as I've already mentioned in my previous video that there are 3 different phases in smart attendance management system, right? So the first phase is the registration phase. So in the registration phase, the registration of employees takes place, right? And the second phase is the training phase, right? So in the training phase, we train our face recognition model, right? So the last phase is the testing phase. In the testing phase, usually the recognition of staffs and the automatic marking of attendance takes place, right? So first things first, so let's get started with the first phase. So for the registration phase, we have to go into this employee management section. So after clicking on this, we'll get a form, and here we are going to fill up the form to register ourselves. So I'm going to register myself. So I'm a machine learning engineer. This is my post, and my full name is Prabhat Ale. So my gender is male. So my contact details is 984430857, and my email address is srv.ale52@gmail.com, and I'm going to click into add. So after clicking on this add, web camera got initialized and it will capture 50 frames, and the registration takes place, right? So all these details that I fill up is stored into the database, and the 50 images is collected into the dataset folder. So let me click on this add button. So the web camera is initialized now. So here you can see it is taking my frames. So now the registration is successful. So my photos have been collected. So here we are going to use support vector machine algorithm so for doing the face recognition process. And what support vector machine expects is that it must have at least 2 classes for doing the recognition process. So that means we have to register at least 2 employee, right? So now I'm going to register another employee also. So, and we also have to consider in mind that about the email automation part, right? So for the email automation part, we are going to send the whole attendance report of the day to the manager, right? So we are also going to choose post here as a manager, right? So I'm going to fill in the details of my brother right now. So right now he's with me. So here I'm going to choose manager because he will receive the attendance report, right? So now the name is Reason Ale. So his gender is male, and his contact details is 98119564669, and his email address is srv.ale@gmail.com, and I'm going to click on add. And after clicking on the add, these details are stored in the database, and the image data sets are stored in the dataset directly, right? So I'm going to click add. So here the data has been successfully updated to the database. So now let's quickly see the image datasets that has been generated by the webcam. So I'm going to minimize this, and so here you can see the datasets. So here you can see the 2 staffs that have been registered successfully. So one of it is me, and another is my brother, Reason Ale. So you can see Prabhat Ale _6, Reason Ale _7. This 6 and 7 is the ID that is automatically generated by the database, because we have used ID as an auto increment key, right? So when we go inside Prabhat Ale, you can see the images that has been collected during the registration purpose, and this is the data that has been collected during the registration purpose, right? So now this completes our registration phase. So now let's go into our second phase, that is the training phase, right? So in our training phase, so we have two different sub-process, that is extraction of embeddings, so in which we extract 120 dimensional feature vectors for each image, and second one is the training, so in which we train the support vector machine algorithm to create a face recognizer model. So first process first, we are going to do extraction of embeddings. So for doing this, we are going into this section and clicking here. So it will open up a page. So then we are going to click on start extracting embeddings button. So after clicking on this, so it will start extracting the embeddings. So you can see it is progressing. So after it is done successfully, so it will create an output file called as embeddings.pickle in models directory, right? So here let's see the output file. So as you can see, embeddings.pickle is an output file that has been generated here. So now our first process in training has completed. So our next process in training, that is the training, right? So for doing the training with support vector machine algorithm, so we need to go into this section and then click on start training, and it will train our data by using support vector machine algorithm, right? And it will also create an output file called recognizer.pickle in the models directory, right? So I'm going to click on here. So the training has been done successfully and another pickle file has been created. So let me show you this pickle file as well. So here you can see recognizer.pickle has been generated here. So this completes our training phase as well. So now we are into our last phase, that is the testing phase, right? So in a testing phase also we have two processes that is going on. First one is marking of attendance, and second one is email automation, in which the attendance report is sent to the manager. Here is Region Ale is the manager. The attendance report will be sent to the email of Region Ale, and second is sending email to every absent employees as well, right? So let's first do the marking of attendance process. So for doing the marking of attendance process, so we are going to into this face recognizer section, and I'm going to do the attendance with my real face without faking anything. So let's see. So I'm clicking on here. So after some time the camera will initialize. So here you can see that it is recognizing my face, so and it has updated my attendance successfully. It is a success message that has been sent by the system. So we can see the attendance report here. So you can see here my attendance has been recorded successfully at 1:38 a.m. So now it has just recorded my attendance, so it is done automatically. So let's try to do the attendance with this same face one more time, and let's see how does the system reacts. Okay, so I'm again doing the attendance of myself. So here it has given us a warning, sorry Parvat Ali, your attendance has been already recorded, right? So we can again check our attendance report. So it has not been recorded, right? So let's try to spoof our system, this time with my brother image, right? So I have a photo that I downloaded from his Facebook account. So let's try to spoof this system and check whether the anti-spoofing system works perfectly or not. So for this purpose, I'm going to again click in this face recognizer and then I'm going to show my phone image. So you can see here it has detected the spoofing, right? So it's all done, and it has also not recorded the attendance with which has spoofing part, right? So this completes our first process of the testing phase, that is marking of attendance process. So now let's jump to the next part, that is email automation, right? So for doing the email automation part, so we have to close this and restart again with some updates in our code. So for doing the email automation part, we have to make an assumption of the timing boundaries. So let's take the time now. So So it is 159, so that is it accepts 24-hour format. So here it will be 159 means 13 14, so we'll wait for 14 and 01. Okay, so 14 1. So at 1 p.m. it will send the message and email to the manager and to the absent employee as well. So now let's run this script again. So it is still 2 minutes left, so I'm going to run this system. So it is taking some time. So here it is. So I'm going to log into the system with the default username and password, admin and admin. So here, so let's understand how email automation works. Okay, so here in our employee management we have two different employees. So one is me, Prabhat Ale, and next one is Rizan Ale, the manager. So we will receive the attendance report at the end, right? So this in this Gmail the attendance report is sent. So these are the two staffs that are registered here. So now let's see the attendance report of today. So only I was able to do the attendance, so that means the reason Ali, the manager, is still not doing the attendance. So suppose if he is not able to do the attendance at the time that I mentioned earlier, then his attendance is automatically marked as absent after that given interval, and an email notification is sent to every absent employee. So that is a manager will also receive an email indicating you are absent. So second part is the manager will receive the whole attendance sheet, right? The whole attendance sheet will be generated later after adding that reason Ale as well, in which its status will be marked as absent. So let's wait until that time period that we defined. So it's still 1 minute left. So for the until then, so here we can see, here you can see that email and report has been successfully sent. So okay, let me show you the attendance report here. So here you can see that reason Ale's attendance has been automatically marked as absent. So for the email automation part, so you need to have an internet access, and I'm going to show you my Gmail. So you can see here this is my email, and it has sent to srb.ale52 to s to the absent employee. This is right, and this is the attendance report. So you can see, and inside the attendance report you can see, okay, it is taking some time. Okay, you can see this is the report. So Prabhat Ale is present and Rizan Ale is absent. So this completes our whole project. So that was the project that we have made. So if run this project. So if you face any problem when running the project, you can leave your comment below. I will try to solve your issue as soon as possible. So until then, stay safe and keep learning. So if you haven't subscribed my channel, so don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. So see you guys in my next video. Thank you. Bye bye.